This one is about navigating your data. We'll start by selecting an entire region that has data. We're going to migrate around that region. We're going to move from one region with data to another region with data. We'll take a look at migrating around a selected range of data using the Tab and Enter key. We'll use a keyboard shortcut to go to the beginning of our spreadsheet and also to the last populated cell on the far right bottom of our spreadsheet. I've got a spreadsheet set up with some data. This is a list of industries of the NASDAQ Stock Exchange sorted in alphabetical order with some statistics about each one of those industries. The first thing I'm going to do is resize the columns because we can't read the industry name or the column headings. I'm going to left click and drag, double click, and resize the columns to make this readable. So we have a region of data. I'm going to click inside this region. And when you have a contiguous range of data, the quickest way to select that entire range is to press Alt-A. I now have this entire range of data selected, but I don't know yet how big it is. I can see how wide it is, but I don't know how long it is. To find that out, press and hold the Control key and press the period key. Every time I press the period key, I advance to a new corner of the data. Pressing it again, I go to the bottom right side. I now know how far down this region extends into the worksheet. Press it again, I go to the left bottom side. Press the period again, I'm back up to the top left side. So every time I press that period, I advance one corner sequentially around the range of data. I'm going to left click and make D11 the active cell. The next thing I want to find out is maybe I have other data on this worksheet. I don't really know. I have this one range of data. There's a couple of ways to do this. The way I'm going to choose to do it is to press the End key and the down arrow. That'll take me to the bottom of the range of data I'm currently in. Pressing the End key and the down arrow again takes me to a new range of data. So I have at least two ranges of data on this worksheet. And down arrow takes me to the bottom of that range. And maybe I have yet a third range below this second range that we've discovered. And down arrow, I find out that I don't. I'm to the bottom of the worksheet. And up arrow takes me to the end of the lower range of data. And up arrow takes me to the top of that range. And up arrow takes me to the lower range of the first range of data. And up arrow takes me to the top. We can use the End down arrow to find blank cells within our data range as well. Since the End down arrow will take us to the end of a contiguous range of data, it's working at any point in time within a column. So I am in column D, and down arrow takes me to D40, and D41 is blank. So even though I'm working within a contiguous range of data, the exception to this being a contiguous range is the fact that D40 is blank. And down arrow takes us to the beginning of the next, for all intents and purposes in column D, data range. So you can use this functionality to find sort of the odd man out or the blank cells within a column of otherwise populated cells. There's another way to navigate around a data range, and that is to double click on the side of the border that surrounds the active cell once you get that four-sided arrow. If I double click on the bottom, it sends the cursor to the far bottom, to the right, up, double click, and to the left. This was covered in a prior movie, but just for the sake of repetition and learning, I'm going to cover it again. If you have a selected range of data, you can press the Tab key to move to the right, and it'll shift down each row as you get to the bottom of the row, or Shift Tab to move to the left. I'm holding the Shift key down and pressing the Tab key. Press the Enter key to move down, and it goes to the new column once it gets to the bottom. Press Shift Enter. I'm holding the Shift key down and pressing the Enter key to move back up. There are also a couple of keyboard shortcuts that will allow you to go to either the beginning of your worksheet or to the lower far right end of your worksheet as defined by the data that you have on that worksheet. We'll first go to the beginning of the worksheet, but before I do that, I'm going to use the name box to go down to A500,000. So I'm deep within my worksheet, and I want to go back up to A1. The way to do that is to press and hold the Control key, and then press the Home key. And we are back in A1. That'll take you to A1 regardless of where you are in the worksheet. To quickly go to the last populated cell, press and hold the Control key and press End. This tells me that I have no content to the right of column M from N on, or any content below row 215 or 216 on to the bottom. Now, why is it that I am in column M and not in column L? I can see I have content in column L. That's because the range above this bottommost range, the first range that we found on our worksheet, has content in column M. So when you Control End, you can be sure that there is nothing to the right or below the cell that you are taken to when you press Control End. So that's navigating around your data. We found we can select a region very quickly by pressing Control A. We can then navigate around each of the corners of the contiguous range of data by pressing Control period. We can use the arrow and the N key to navigate from range to range and find the outermost range of a current range of data, or jump to the next range of data. We can quickly move to the edge of any contiguous range of data by double-clicking on the side of the border that surrounds the active cell. We can select a range and navigate around that particular range with the Tab and Shift Tab and the Enter and Shift Enter keys. We can quickly go to the beginning of the spreadsheet by pressing Ctrl Home, and we can go to the last populated cell on the spreadsheet by pressing Ctrl End.